What's up guys, we're back with another instructional video. This is another 3D print that's up for free on all the download sites. Check the description. This was a great little press. Made it with this knob originally and realized it was a lot stronger than the force I could generate. So we upgraded it and put this arm on, which made it an awful lot stronger. But now we've got tipping. So it wants to tip towards you. It also wants to tip to the left, to the arm side. We also had a problem where there wasn't enough space, so you couldn't fit a very large part underneath the ram. In addition, it was hard to get these parts apart because I made them fit really tight, which is necessary for operation, but makes it really hard to disassemble. In comes the 2.0. This still has the same working components as the other one. We've added a hole and a little part stand that covers it up when you don't want the hole. So if you're trying to knock something out, you need to push a pin through or something like that, you need this hole for the pin to have someplace to go. And when you don't, you just cover it up and it's like it's not there. This comes apart a little bit different. This plate comes off, and then the rest of this is all printed as one big piece. But we've got the knockout holes. We've got a much deeper throat here that really makes this a lot more versatile. And while this one still does want to tip, it doesn't want to go to the left. It still wants to come towards you. But you got this big shelf to hold it down, and it works great. We wanted this to be a fully 3D printed project as always. No glue, no fasteners. We also wanted to print without support. So this is printed entirely without support. Let's look at some of the design considerations that went into making this, and then we'll move on to assembly and printing. So this is the press housing, and we want to print with no support. We want to lay it down like this. This face will be on the print bed, and that meant we couldn't print this wall. This part's removable. These are the connecting features. They're tapered and they go into interference. So you push these faces down flat and these are really stuck hard. You can get them back apart, but they don't come apart on their own. They seem to stay right where they're put during operation. So that finishes the containment for the RAM and gives it the means to move up and down. This is the inside of the plate for the side of the housing. And these are the features that interfere with the holes to hold the thing on. So the general idea of this thing is rotate the arm, move the ram. You get a lot of leverage from the length of this arm, and then inside of here, there's a rack and pinion system. So the handle is attached to this gear. When it turns, it's meshed with the teeth on the backside of the ram, and in the counterclockwise direction, the ram goes down, clockwise direction, ram goes up. On the inside, I've cut all of these holes, and this is so that we get more wall thickness material. Basically, the grid in here will print much stronger than the infill support would have. So I've got it in both the ram and the vertical posts of the back of the press. These knockout holes were added from the last one, so this is another upgrade. It really helps to get them apart. Well, it's easier to push than it is to pull, so this will help us take them apart when we need to. We've got a deeper throat here, so you can fit more things underneath it. This is a removable part stand, and it also, if you use it with it removed, you can use it to knock out pins and have some place for them to go while something's laying down. This is the build plate setup. We want to print all these parts in these orientations to avoid the need for support and maximize strength. The press housing wants to be on the flat side with the holes facing up. This plate wants to have the post facing up. We need to print the teeth and profile for strength. The shaft we want the lines running this way for strength, and the gear we want this way for strength. And because we needed to have these large diameters that are larger than the gear, there are these chamfers on either side. So that's an overhang that we can print that just allows us to make these shapes. So these parts need 0 support, and I've sized it so that the dimensions on this are maximum 175. So if you've got a build plate that's 180 millimeters square, you'll be able to fit this. Not all of it at once, but this part will fit. That's the biggest one. So now we're going to take a look at putting it together. So now that we've printed all the parts, this is the removable side, so we could print this without support. Remember, this printed flat down. So there's a big chamfer on the front. That matches up with this side. We're going to put these in here, and you've got to push down pretty hard. You're going to really feel it suck all the way down to the face, then it's done. So gear goes in, then we put this post in. This is the shaft, and it's a little tight, so you force it down there. Then we're going to put the part platform into the diamond shaped hole, then drop the ram in from the top. Now, when you put this on, you want it to be in the down position. So if this isn't it, to adjust it, you're going to take this out, find a new start position. Now, when this goes on, I'm horizontal. So you pull this all the way out, just give this a random spin. 2 or 3 tries, you're going to be in the right place. You can push this all the way down, and when you rotate your arm, your press should come all the way up. When it goes all the way around, it'll still be engaged. So if you want it to stay up, just let all of the handle be on this side of the pin and gravity will hold it up for you. Now let's go test it and see how strong it is. I got a bathroom scale, just a spring scale, and we're just going to push on it and measure how much force we get before we break. So here goes nothing. Okay, so I had to move the handle because I wasn't strong enough to break it. So now it's in a new orientation and we'll go for test number 2. Hope we can see the force. All right, so I've discovered that because I'm not making contact with this correctly, when I push down, I max out about here, which is just south of 130. But if I bring it over to the side, it seems to want to keep going. Let's see. There's 200 pounds. I don't think this scale is good enough that I'm actually going to break this, and it's actually pretty strong, but at 200 pounds, I'm happy with it. I don't think it owes us any more than that. But anyways, it'll smash a walnut, and it'll destroy candy. We got it to 200 pounds, although that measurement is admittedly disappointing. Maybe in the future we'll actually find a way to break this thing. But for now, I think I'm just going to put it in service and be happy that it works well.